Time is up, your time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. Welcome to another edition of My Horror Life. You're probably wondering why that I'm starting with a rap song. Well, I just want to come on here and just talk about horror. And I'll get to the reason behind the rap song in a little bit. But first, I want to give a big shout out to my boys over at the Rabbit and Red Radio, Cody Robinson, Mike Sankovich, excellent guys. The new show of the old show is really starting to take off. I'm proud of you guys. I keep it up, and also let you guys know that I'll be on the Gonzo Chronicles again next week, and topic wrestling. We're gonna be doing our top 4 of all time. You know, like the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. We're going to be doing top 4 tag teams, top 4 factions, top 4 heels. So you guys should pay attention to that. Also, let me just display my shirt. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. Cobra Kai, never die. Also, I want to thank, let me see. I want to thank Kim Wall for this picture. Amazing woman. If you want an autograph of hers, she is on Facebook, and sweet woman. Anyways, let's talk about some horror. So, I was actually just catching up some more horror. I did my first mini podcast on Podbean. If anybody has Podbean, look out Father Mahoney's House. That's my show. The first one was just a little trial run. I only did like a 10-minute segment, and just to see how it came out. You know, I don't expect any rave reviews for my first one. It's first time. I kind of busted my cherry there. My current setting is out of date. Ooh. Anyways, so yeah, I busted my cherry. That's the name of the episode. And I think for my first time, I did pretty well. I got some nice feedback from some fellow podcasters who've been doing this a while. So they said, not bad for your first time. Also, I want to talk about, let's see, probably the Texas Chainsaw series. I'm starting to get back into that again. Texas Chainsaw, if you guys listen to the Gonzo Chronicles, my first episode is with author Cyrus Alderwood. If you haven't, I can send you the link. I ranked that my favorite of all time. And part 2 is amazing too. We didn't do sequels, but if I had to put a sequel, like a top 10 sequels, that would definitely be in this. Probably top 5. I love Texas Chainsaw 2. 3 has its moments. I like 3. It's a little bit of a scare and a little bit of a, you know, especially the unrated one. Well, the unrated is great. 4 is a terrible disappointment. I did like Vilmer, Matthew McConaughey. He was so over the top. It was great. He was like he carried that whole movie, and I mean the end result was still not that great, but he made it bearable to watch in his scenes. Awesome. So if you haven't seen Next Generation, and you have some time to kill, and you just don't mind not having a great movie to watch, it's watchable. Then we go into the remakes, and I'm not going to talk too much about Andrew Bernstein, because people who know me know my views on him. I'll just say one word: scumbag. But he does play the role well. I can't discredit him for the role that he played, just the human he is. The remake is really good. It pays a lot of homage to the original. Then there's the beginning, and the beginning I actually really enjoyed. And Arlie Emery is so terrific. I mean, he's one of the most talented actors, and it was great to see him take on the horror world, and he makes those movies so enjoyable. Like his scenes are just terrific. Kind of like Vilmer. He's a little over the top, but man, he's enjoyable to watch. And then we come back to Texas Chainsaw 3D, and overall 3D. Dan Yeager plays the role of Leatherface terrific. Great guy, by the way. The only gripe I have on 3D is the timeline, and anybody who's seen that movie knows what I'm talking about. The timeline is so severely off, but the story's great. The role is played terrific by Dan Yeager, and you can see he really studied a lot of Gunnar Hansen. And give it a watch if you haven't seen it. So, and then we come to the atrocity known as Leatherface, the UK, which pretty much has nothing to do with the storyline, but it tries, and it's more of like a Who is Leatherface movie for most of the movie. It's based around like kids are in like a asylum, and you don't know what one of them ends up being Leatherface, and you just don't know which one it is. And I got it wrong, but it was hard to watch. Also, the movie it only has a couple really decent scenes, and it's slow. But if you are a Texas Chainsaw fan, you still have to watch it. Sorry. But let me know. Let me know what you guys think of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, because I honestly think the series overall is a plus, with a couple of downfalls, but that's any series. Nightmare has it, Halloween has it, Friday has it. So you're never gonna have a perfect series. And I also watched I rewatched Amityville 2, and I still think to this day that's the best Amityville movie, and how it talks about basically the DeFeo family, but they had to change the name, but it's really about the DeFeos, and the cast is terrific. Natalia Alda and Diane Keaton, and just that movie it's actually one of the scarier Amityvilles, because honestly I don't find a lot of the Amityville movies really scary. And I can't even imagine how many there are now. There's so many Offspring movies now. There's also the original series, and there's the Amityville Hauntings, the Amityville Murders, the Amityville Curses. There's probably like 20 movies of Amityville, and if the Conjuring series has anything to do with it, they'll probably make another interpretation of an Amityville movie, because the paranormal experts in the Conjuring series also investigated the Amityville house at one time, so we'll see. But what do you guys have been watching up there? Or do you have any suggestions for me? Maybe like a movie review. Nothing obscure, please. Because, I mean, if you have to do obscure, go for it. But, or just tell me a movie and ask me, hey, Rob, what do you think about this movie? What do you think about that movie? I'll give you my honest opinion, because I'm a straight shooter. And that kind of brings me to my opening music, if I can bring it back up again. Hold on. Does anybody know what this music's to? Okay, so the reason I started with this song is because that's the music of John Cena. And John Cena is a Massachusetts boy, just like moi. But that's not why I picked the music. John Cena is considered the most polarizing figure in wrestling. Polarizing, why? Because some people love him, some people hate him. There's no middle ground. You either love him or hate him. That's me. I'm the polarizing figure in the horror community because I tell it how it is. And when I see injustices, I will call you out on them. Because I don't want to see this industry damaged like it's already been damaged. Right now, it's being damaged. And anyone who's following my Facebook page knows what I'm talking about. I'm glad some of the cast has reached out to me. And I am not afraid to tell you why I'm posting these things. I love all of you, and I just want the horror community to have movies that we can trust and movies that we can depend on, not movies that have lied to us. And I just want you guys to know that if there's ever any injustice, I have your back because I love this industry. I'm just a small little portion of it. I have a couple little credits here and there, mostly thank you stuff, a couple producer stuff. But it was like producers that I bought into. It wasn't like I went to the locations and I did all the groundwork, and no. But this is an industry I grew up on. I bought my first, I rented my first video at the age of 11. And this was against my mom's orders when we had video stores. I used to go to the video store with my mom, and we always get these PG movies. But of course, over to the right section was the horror section. And that's where my mom would find me a lot of times, looking at all these titles, and I just got fascinated. But remember the old boxes and the covers? That was an exciting time, especially for like a young man who I was sheltered a lot. Like I wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of heavy metal and a lot of rock and roll. I didn't get into that until I was probably about 12, 13 years old. So these horror movies were like another shock to me. Like, oh, like I thought all movies were fun, friendly, and carefree, and here I see these boxes with bodies and gory pictures. And the first movie I actually rented was a very, very low budget movie called Gore Girls. And I don't know if anybody remembers that, but the funny thing is, the guy who ran the video store, he knew he wasn't supposed to rent to me. But I would be there and there all the time. And he said to me once, he said, I'm not supposed to be renting to you, right? I kind of like put my head down. And he goes, but you know what? I see you have a passion for something. But I'm going to tell you right now, if mom ever finds out that I'm renting to you, I know nothing. I'll say that you stole it. I went along with it. I saw some of my first horror movies then. Before the VHS, back in when I was like 9 or 10, my family rented Halloween on Beta, and that was the first time I ever experienced horror. So like when I started going to the video store with my mom to this place, it was like I saw that movie that I saw for the first time when I was like 9, and I remember that music. Everybody knows the Halloween music. So, I rented Gore Girls, and that was like minor porn. Blood, guts, boobs, and everything in it. And then I just started going back and back and back, and I would literally go back every day so that my mom wouldn't catch me. I would watch the movie up in my room in the morning. If it was a school day, I'd go to school. After school, I would go to the video store. Or if it was the weekend, I'd go in the video store in the morning, grab another movie, come back, watch it, return the next day. Because my mom didn't rent very much, so the chances of getting caught were slim if I kept at it. And saw Phantasm, Phantasm 2, Friday the 13th. I saw a lot of the Friday the 13th through my sister Carol, who had the biggest video collection. She used to have the 2 VCRs where you could like tape you rent one and you hook it up to the other one and you tape it, which is illegal, obviously, but it was illegal to distribute it. So as long as she watched it on her own, I guess it was fine. But I saw a lot of my first movies there. I saw Humongous, 1982, The Prey, 1984. So a horror fan was born, is what I'm trying to say. I was a horror fan born at an early age. A lot of people saw them earlier, don't get me wrong, but I was already hooked and addicted at the age of 13. Haven't looked back, and now, with the amazing world of social media, I've got to know some of these people and interact with some of these people that I watched and that I was amazed by. And it's really overwhelming. It really is. I mean, a lot of people don't know. I couldn't say at the time because I was under a clause that when Caroline Williams had her fan page, it's called Caroline Williams Actress. The person behind that page was mostly me. When you were messaging her, you were talking to me. But Caroline would chime in a lot, but she was very busy at the time. And so she needed someone to run her page. It was me. I did that for 3 years and refused money. I didn't want to get paid from her. But occasionally she would send me this or that. And it was pretty cool. Over there, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it, but you see the tote bag hanging right there. It's a Keokla Red River Rock and Roll tote bag. That was one of the little gifts that she gave me and signed. So, and lately I've been showing a lot of my convention pictures from October of last year, and a lot of people, seem to be fascinated by them. And it's a small collection. There's so many people out there with much bigger collections, but it was a dream to come true. I actually released a video on YouTube, live from Rock and Shock, and there's 2 times that I actually broke down physically crying because this is all I've ever wanted, to meet them. People like Bill Moseley, Adrian King, Catherine Kamei from Sleepaway Camp, Felicia Rose, Sleepaway Camp, Derek Mears, Friday the 13th remake, Adam Green, director of Hatchet, Bill Johnson, Texas Chainsaw 2, Ed Neal, Texas Chainsaw 1, Dan Yeager, what I talked about earlier. I'm missing some people here. Kane Hodder. It was everything I ever wanted, especially when I got to the John Dugan. Grandpa. How can we forget Grandpa? Grandpa made me feel like I was the famous one at one point when we did the Texas Chainsaw panel, and all 5 of them were up there, and it was Bill Moseley, John Dugan, Ed Neal, Dan Yeager, and Bill Johnson doing a question and answer period, and sit there raising my hand, and the moderator calls me, says, "Man, right there in the Bruins sweater, the Bruins hockey Jason sweater, by the way. It says Jason as the goalie of the Boston Bruins, which is cool." And John Dugan stands up and goes, "Hey everyone, it's Rob Mahoney from the Sawhorse family." It's like, thanks for the plug, John. Unfortunately, the question wasn't for him. I had a question for Bill Moseley, so it was to talk. I mean, just to talk to these people. Adrian King gave me a kiss on the cheek. Felicia Rose gave me a kiss on the cheek. Catherine Kamei gave me a kiss on the cheek. I'll never live that down. That's why I love this industry. And that's why I will protect it. From the age of 13, I am 48 years old now. 35 years I've been protecting this industry, and I will continue to protect this industry because I love this industry. I love the horror fans, and I love you guys. So on that note, let's cue the music one more time. My time is up. My time is now. You can't see me. My time is now. Take care. Au revoir.